Wow, it is finally February. Didn't January take such a long time? In fact, while I was writing this script, I wrote, it's finally January instead of it's finally February. So the January fever has caught on to me. So much has happened in the world, and you know I'm serious because I'm saying the world, not Zawari though. And there are a lot of things to recount in this past January. Everyone, and I mean everyone, was thinking something along the lines of, when will this January end? And when is this cold month happening? Why is it so long? This is 2019 too, or whatever. What's happened in 2020? When will January end? Why is all this bad stuff happening? Will the world end? When will I stop talking? Now let's start off with something that started in the highly populated, dense area of China. Of course, I'm talking about coronavirus and its silly misadventures and its shenanigans and its sicknesses and plagues and illnesses and severe cases and even death, which have spread across the whole world now. And of course, the memes. Me and the squad trying to catch the coronavirus so we can skip work. First case of coronavirus found in the UK. When you hear someone sneeze in a Chinese airport, warp to the graveyard? Okay. Coronavirus has 300 cases of death worldwide now, and what can you do to stop helping it spread? Well, CDC, the Center for Disease Control, the official American title that everyone loves to spew out whenever they're dishing out some mumbo-jumbo health stuff. Don't go next to others who have it, and wash your hands, and most importantly, what my mother tells me to do all the time, don't touch your face. So coronavirus is spreading pretty quickly, obviously, but you know what else is spreading quickly? Fires. The Australian fires have been spreading quickly since last year, similar to the California ones we've had a few years ago. And the fires, still raging on, have affected many of hundreds, if not thousands of lives, especially wildlife, where it has affected most likely to the millions. The fires continue to spread due to current global climate in that area, which has gone up recently, even though it's always been going up. And it is especially warm in Australia, where, keep in mind, it is summer right now. Our firemen are confronting this inferno bravely, and they are true warriors. They are a fire force. No, not that kind of fire force. Fire force against fire, not using fire. And all I can do to ask you to help is to please donate to our brave volunteers in a link which I'll leave in the description below. Speaking of hot things, a volcano has recently erupted in Manila, covering it with ash. If you don't know what it's called, it's Mount Taal, and it has also been affecting many lives, cloaking Manila with ashes and covering islands of the Philippines in darkness. This one I can only briefly explain because I don't know too much about it. Even though it is the country where my parents were born, I should know a lot about it. All I can do to ask you to help this problem is to just try donating somewhere. I'll leave a link in the description, but personally, what I'm doing is just helping them with my prayers and keeping them in my thoughts. And our firemen and disease control people really are endeavoring to quench these inextinguishable fires. And so is our military. They're fighting for us day and day, and right now, harder than ever because, well, things in the Middle East haven't been going too well. Such is the result after our assassination of an important military general in Iran. Speaking of death, obviously I had to talk about this. Kobe Bryant has recently died. Also, his daughter died, and 7 other people in the helicopter all passed away in the crash. And so this unfortunate event, along with the death of the Iranian general, what can we do with all this death around us and all this torture and suffering and the fires and the volcano and everywhere? Too much has happened over this past month, and I think part of the problem is that it's cold. And, well, not right now, obviously I can wear a t-shirt. I'm choosing to film this at a warmer time. But in January, it's cold and kind of wet sometimes, and mostly dark too. And so that contributes to the severe sadness that everyone's feeling at this time. And is God ending the world? Is he planning our demise as the human race? Is this the end of the world? And you know I'm serious because I'm saying the end of the world, not the end of Zawardo. Many occurrences like this have happened all throughout the years. 2012 we thought the world was going to end, and there were some rumors in 2017 when people thought the world was going to end. But God, the omnipotent being who rules divinely and benevolently over the human race, hasn't ended the world yet, has he? He wants to show us that the human race can always bounce back and that we can come up from any darkness. And so that's what I believe. That's what's going to happen after this January and hopefully the rest of the year. And January wasn't all bad. We as a weebs got the release of one of the best movies, one of the best anime movies to be released this decade. We got Weathering With You. A new decade has started for us. We got the release of Bite, which I talked about last week. If you want to see that video, I'll link in a card right there. And personally, in my family, I have a new cousin, so that's always joyful. Let's hope for the future of humanity. However bleak it may seem now, God's plan will always carry us through. And we as humans will always bounce back, because we're strong. I know. It's cheesy to end on this note, but I believe that this year, or this downfall that we've been going through right now, with all this suffering, with all this sickness, with all this fire, with all this death, even through all this, we will not go through the end of Zawardo.